So we're going to pick up with the spirit having just faded. Technically, it was a specter. Right here. Having just faded away. Leaving you access to this room, which is a room with a bronze throne on a bronze dais. In the throne, now that the specter has faded away, is a skeleton wearing rusted armor and a number of shiny things. In his right hand is a sword. Next to his left hand, leaned against the throne, is a very shiny shield with a dragon inlay.
And we can see this? We can see directly into...
Correct. You guys pulled the door open, the specter showed up, asked you the riddle, you answered correctly, it disappeared, and you're able to see past it now. The area you can now discern back here.
So what do you guys think?
If the spirit is already restless, wise to disturb it. Further, that is.
When it appeared, it basically gave you a riddle to grant you entry into this area. That you've gained entry. That's what you've gained.
Did we already explore this room? I forgot.
You did not. We stopped right after the spirit disappeared. You guys haven't even moved into the room yet.
Well, we may as well go in. We got the answer right.
Yeah, I think we got approval. Do you want me to send in a image or something? Like an illusion?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, cool. I'll move back here, and then I'm going to send an image of myself into the middle of that room, right in front of the throne.
Alrighty, 1 second. I'm trying to find my letter tokens. There they are. Took me a second. There we go.
Yep. Cool.
So the image stands there, and it doesn't provoke any reaction. There's no changes from the skeleton or the equipment. It just stands there for a minute. I will note that Matt said he just got released from work. He's on his way. He apologizes. I don't think it's a big deal. So we're going to keep on rolling.
Personally, I think you should release his character and let me play him. Her, sorry.
Hey, I'm okay with it. Matt would be okay with it. He doesn't actually care.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I think we should head on in. Dimble will stride right into right here. He'll point his finger at the skeleton and say, "He looks dead."
Powerful observation. That's some ambiance, not necessarily any creature.
Would there be any indication as to the identity of this skeleton?
There has not been any indication. All of the inlays on the tombs, the stone, some of the monoliths that you guys have seen have been worn away pretty heavily. So it's definitely not something that you can discern.
And there's no ability to think about history, local history, and what he might represent.
You're absolutely welcome to make a check.
Okay, I'll try it. Yeah. You want a history, I assume?
That would be the best. So, Badger specifically, I believe he's actually from this general area as well.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you can recall is specifically relating to a battle between dwarves and orcs thousands and thousands of years ago that was assisted by some of the human settlements from this area that no longer exist. One of them speaks of a leader of a religious group who was able to withstand multiple blows from the orc chieftain in the protection of the dwarven king, and it was referring to his ability to do so due to the unbreakability of his shield. The dwarven leader fell, and before the killing blow could fall, as the ally human and dwarf fought together, and he was able to protect the dwarven king with his unbreakable shield until he could get his feet back under him. It also speaks of the dwarven king carrying a flaming weapon, but that is the extent of the legend you recall.
Okay. All right. Great. I'd like to start a ritual detect magic spell on the shield.
Okay, you cast detect magic, and the shield and the sword radiate magic.
Dimble turns around and says, "What do you think? Should we borrow them? I don't think he'd mind."
I mean, I'm not touching it.
I think Matthias would look pretty conflicted about this.
Could you give me a perception check there, Dimble, please?
Sure. Yep. Do you want these in the tower, by the way?
No, it's fine. I'll let you know if we need the tower.
Okay. Comes over here and he says, "Huh, look at that." And he walks over behind the throne, and there's a statue there, and he points his finger at it, and he's pointing his finger, it's like an inch away. He's like, "Hey, I found something. It's magical too." He looks up at Ogie and Mal.
Poke it with a stick.
The figure is it appears to be a raven in mid-flight, and it looks like it's crafted from some type of silvery, possibly silver or another silver-like material, metal.
Dimble says, "Okay," and he grabs it.
Okay. You pick it up. It's cold to the touch, being in this tomb, but otherwise it doesn't react at all.
He holds out his hand with the raven right in the middle of his hand and says, "What do you think, Ogie?"
I think it looks awesome.
Dimble places it on his head.
So you have a small crown, and you have a sword and shield and some bones. Now that you guys are standing close, you also notice that the skeleton is wearing a golden chain around its neck, as well as a braided metal, again silverish shiny metal ring on one hand.
Dimble turns around and shrugs his shoulders and says, "We were invited in. I don't think they'd mind if we borrowed these things." And he walks up and he grabs his sword. After grabbing the sword, he walks over to Ogie. He says, "You could use this best," and holds it out.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that for a minute.
The sword objects to being picked up, and as soon as you pick it up, it swings out at you, Dimple, and it gets a surprise attack on you. But the sword seems to not much appreciate being handled that way, or at all, and attacks to try to hurt you. I'll just roll twice there, since I can't remember to click advantage. And he does 7 damage. I don't know why I clicked that again, but he did. His first attack there and his second attack there, since I wasn't smart enough to click advantage. And the shield, on the other hand, doesn't react. When the sword swings at you, you kind of stumble a little, and it falls to the ground, clattering. But the sword seems to be lashing specifically out at Dimple, and I'm going to need everyone to roll some initiative, please.
Third.
It is a charm.
Alright, and since it got an attack on you, it's only fair that you go first and get an attack back on it. I'm presuming you're not still holding it, but you can hold whatever you want. No judgment.
What do you guys think? Should we attack this thing, or... Okay, what do you think about running up and grabbing this thing out of the air?
Sure. I'll try.
Alright, so I'm gonna dodge. That's the action I'm gonna take.
Okay. You can, what you're gonna need to do, if you're gonna try and grab him instead of hit him with your sword, you're gonna need to roll a strength check on the front of your sheet. I'm pretty sure we haven't done grapple this round, so we'll go about through it step by step.
Great, he just cut my arm off.
So he gets a check as well to try and dodge you. And manages to just barely be unsuccessful in your attempt to grab him. And you snatch the sword, and you're basically using your strength to hold the sword from swinging around, but it is fighting you, attempting to get free and cut at you.
Okay.
1 second. There we go. I had to adjust my volume. The music was a little loud for me. So with Ragnar, do you want him to run up and try and hit the sword, or what you guys' plan here?
Yeah. What do you guys think? I don't think this thing is a intelligent sword, or I'm not sure we're going to be able to wield it. What do you think? If it's not going to be a weapon that we're going to use, then we should just attack it.
We might be able to get prepared to destroy it.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should go ahead and have it attack.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is giving us... My movements are not locking to a grid. Did I miss something?
No,
Are yours locking to a grid?
not
I
the
see.
grid.
I see Ragnar locking to the grid in the middle of the grid. Squares.
I manually moved him.
Oh, never mind.
I must have changed something in the settings while we were sitting here. Let me take a look. That's something I want to make sure we get. The tokens are locked, so it should be... But let me scroll down here and see if I can find something to do with the grids. There was recently an update, but I don't believe it had to do with that. So I'm just going to keep it. We'll just roll with it for now. We'll have to do our best. But Ragnar runs up to attack the sword. So Ragnar looks like he's got his short swords as preference here. And we're going to roll this as a throat punch, but I don't feel like he can technically throat punch. So we got max damage from Ragnar for both hits.
Wow. That's great.
The sword, on the other hand, attempts to free itself from Oglavone. So, Ogie, I'm going to need you to do another strength check from the front of your sheet, and it's going to try to get free. And Oglavone is going to hold it tighter, because that poor sword just needs to be squeezed to death.
Do we get advantage on those attacks? Is that right?
I'm not 100% sure about a sword, but it seems reasonable. We'll go ahead and approve his move, and yes, you can get advantage on those attacks. I'm going to mess around with this grid and figure it out.
Alrighty.
You can go ahead and take your action. I'm just playing with it.
Meanwhile, Matthias would lay a hand upon Dimble's shoulder and utter some reassuring words. Cast Cure Wounds. Bang.
Dimble turns and says, "Thank you."
It is definitely a good day for dice.
And I think I'm done after that.
Okay. Do you want to control Shaban, or would you like me to roll it?
You go ahead if you're ready. I mean, whatever's more convenient for you.
It makes no difference to me. But Shaban's gonna move up and stab the dagger, or the floating sword, with her dagger. For a double miss. I was skillful. I'm gonna skip Green Wing unless you plan to have him do something.
Nope. How does the flying sword? Okay, I can see. It looks heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and attack it with Witch Bolt.
It's a definite hit. It's tearing the sword up, but it's still struggling against Oglavone to cut him to pieces, although his strength is holding out. So, Oglavone, when you are holding something like this, whether it's a person, if you try and hold him from running away, on your turn, you have two choices. Continue holding or let go. At that point, when you're involved in what they call a grapple, where you're holding something, your turn is you basically used holding it from breaking free.
Out of curiosity, is it possible to put the sword into a chokehold?
I don't believe so. I don't believe you can choke a sword.
Well, not with that attitude.
If I let go of it, can I then hit it?
Yes. Releasing it is a free action.
There you go.
Do you guys want me to let it go?
Yeah,
else to
attack.
touch it?
I mean, you probably have the best attack.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Do what else will taught you. Let it go.
Calm down, Eddie.
I'm gonna scoot you back 5 feet as you let the sword go, and
I forgot to put advantage.
just roll another attack. We'll take the highest.
There you go.
It's a hit.
Woohoo!
You gotta roll your damage real quick.
Sorry.
A biggie. Oglavone pulls out his maul and smashes the sword and breaks the blade in half, and sends one piece of the blade against one wall and one piece of the blade against the ceiling before both fall loudly clattering to the ground. And the sword is dead.
So, is it still magical?
It is no longer showing a magical aura.
Dimble says, "That didn't go well." And he walks up to the throne and puts his hand over the shield and looks over at the others. Okay.
We definitely got it. Should we just move on? Is there anything else in this room?
Ring, shield, and necklace, I believe.
Yep, a ring, a shield, and a necklace. Okay, if someone wouldn't mind, try moving your token. I think I found the setting I messed up. Still not snapping?
Nope.
Nope.
Not to the middle of the grid, no.
Apparently I didn't. Okay, thank you. Okay, so you're taking, or are you touching the shield?
My hand is hovering over it, looking between Ogi and Mao.
Go ahead.
All right. Dimble grabs the shield, puts it on his arm, and crouches behind it, peeking over the edge at Ogi. I can be a fighter.
Good.
Yeah.
The shield does not attack you, but it is cold to the touch and still displaying a magical aura.
He walks over right in front of Ogi and just hands it with a straight arm right out to him.
Ogi pushes his arm out and gently pushes it away.
Dimble makes a sad face.
I don't want that kind of poison.
He walks over to Mal and says, I think you could use this.
I think Matthias would hesitantly take it.
Okay, I put all of the items, including the raven and the bracelet. I'm sorry, the necklace and the ring in the party sheet. If you're not taking the necklace and the ring, just let me know. I just drug it all over there for my simplicity.
What are the
Which of
we see two unidentified items. What are those?
Oh, never mind.
I'm bringing it up. I'm not sure. It's their
they're the
lazy
bottom
way
two.
of not typing something. There you go. So there you guys go. You have that corrected, and the skeleton seems to be completely uninterested in mortal affairs, including the shield, necklace, and ring. And the sword that Oglevon smashed to bits.
Are the amulet and ring showing signs of magic? Or did you...
They are not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Did you say the raven had magic on it?
It did. Technically, Badger said it hadn't. But, in fairness.
Do you guys want these things? I mean, Dimble already grabbed that orb back at the last place, so.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to take it. I mean, is there any way we can get the magic off of these things?
Oh, I think we want the magic, and the magic will probably help us.
Oh, okay.
So, Tony, tell me if this is wrong, but if we take these items and we spend a short rest, which is 1 hour, with them, then we can identify what benefits they have associated with them. Is that right, Tony?
That is correct. I've used a couple different variants. The method I'm going with in this campaign, just to see how I like it, is this is how it works. There are 2 types of magic items, all of which are identified by spending a short rest, I believe it is, a rest of some kind, possibly a long rest, with the magic item, one at a time. So if you were to sit down for an hour or 8 hours, I believe you're right, it is an hour now that I think about it, and focus on the figurine that is obviously magical, you're becoming attuned to its magical energies. And you then know what it does and how to operate it. Now, the difference is, the 2 kinds of magic items is there are magic items that require what they call attunement, being specifically tied to the magic item. And when you start getting magic items, you'll notice that some will say attunement required, and some will not. So that's where you're going to do it. Now, the caveat of the easy, quote-unquote, easy identification is you're allowed 3 attuned items per character. So if you find rings and necklaces and lots of magic items, you can't have more than 3. So that's...
Can you unattune?
You can. You can... Basically, it's automatic. When you attune a 4th, you lose the 1st. But you basically get to choose which 3 you're going to be attuned to, is the generality of it.
Okay.
But they will say attunement required. And usually magic swords, magic armor, that type of stuff does not require attunement. Usually.
I think the Raven would probably be a decent fit with Shaban.
You can just leave it in the party sheet for now if you guys would like.
Okay. I think we should all grab at least one of these and spend a short rest just figuring out what they do.
Okay.
If you don't mind, real quick, I'm going to share your Drift Globe item with everybody there.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm going to share 2 magic items with everyone. One's a Drift Globe, and one is an Amulet of Health. You should have gotten them both. They might have stacked on top of each other. You might have to drag one off to the side. They're both identified. The Amulet of Health isn't something you have, so don't get too excited. But if you look where it says Rarity, one says requires attunement, the other doesn't. So that's where you're going to be looking. And that's where it's going to come in. The cost, for example, on the Drift Globe is uncommon. It would say requires attunement there. Those are the words you're looking for when you guys are looking at magic items. So if you don't see requires attunement, then it doesn't require it. So it isn't a big deal now. Just something to bear in mind in the future.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
So you guys are spending a short rest here, correct?
Yep.
Okay. The shield that you picked up there, Matthias, is it on your sheet, or is it, I missed it?
In the backpack.
There it is, finally crafted. It is a +1 shield. It is a shield that is magical, and basically what it does is it can't be corroded or damaged by wear and tear. It has a dragon inlay on it, but it adds an additional +1 to your armor class.
Okay.
The figurine of the Raven is called a Silver Raven of Wondrous Power. Basically, what it is you can summon a beast small enough that's the size of a raven. Basically, it summons a real live raven. But the difference is this isn't a raven that just flies down from a tree. You pull it. It's the spirit of a raven. For those who haven't read the Salvatore books, this raven is basically connected to the essence of a raven that lives on another plane of existence. When you activate this figurine, the essence of a raven materializes as a living flesh and blood raven on the material plane, and it acts as if you've cast Animal Messenger on it. And how that spell works is you activate this figurine, and this creature behaves in the manner you choose. You specify a location which you have to have visited, and a recipient, a person you want to, for example, the sheriff. You want to send this raven to Red Larch, which you visited, the sheriff who you've talked to, or you can give a general description that's specific enough. You say what your message is. The general rule in the spell is 25 words, but it's a short message. The beast will travel and then relay that message in your voice and then disappears. So it is a method of communication. It can only be used once every 2 days. But it's basically like a text message, but fancier.
Ooh.
And more naturey.
And for those of you who have seen the Salvatore books, Dritz had one for a massive black panther, which did a little more than convey message. I mean, it did convey messages, but they were more toothy and clawy than verbal. If it's ever attacked or killed or anything like that, it goes right back to the astral plane and can still be summoned in 2 days. As long as you don't mind causing it the pain of being hurt, it's immortal.
That'd be mean.
No pain, no gain.
So, that is your choices here.
What's the gold necklace and the silver ring?
Oh, those are just necklaces and rings. They're. I pulled them out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. I assumed they wouldn't need to be identifiable, but they're just a braided silver and electrum ring and a gold chain and locket. It's just treasure. You can read the pretty picture on the description if it makes you happy, though.
Now that you said it.
So that's where you guys are standing. I will note something I did notice, Matthias, and I don't know if it was intentional or accidental, but you should be aware that your armor is, I think, a little bit flimsy for a cleric. Not that you have to wear heavier armor. I just wanted you to know that you have the option to wear heavier armor.
Yeah, the lighter armor was.
Okay, I'm perfectly cool with that. I just wanted you to be aware that with your armor class is going to be lower, and you're going to be easier to hit with a lower armor class, which is fine by me. So, you guys have spent an hour sitting around with the dusty bones of a long dead human and identified some items. What is your intention now?
Well, unless anybody is really interested in the Raven, I think we can hand that off to Shaban.
I'm cool.
Shaban is not here, however.
Let's just leave it in the party sheet for now, and we'll let her drag it when she gets here.
Okay, cool. I think we should leave the other things here.
The ring and the necklace?
Yeah, I mean, that's me, but I mean, that's whatever.
I mean, I see no real reason to take them.
We could sell them.
That's a reason. I don't know if you consider it a valid reason, but it's a reason.
That's pretty valid.
User joined your channel.
Hey, Matt's here.
Yep. Got off work a lot later than what's normal for Friday.
Well, we just gave you something.
Herpes?
Only slightly better.
I figured it's Augie, so yeah, I'd probably be right.
The noble is always an easy target.
It's in the party sheet. To save you the long description I just gave everybody else, do you you remember the Dritz books? Gwenwyver? Matthew.
Yes, sorry.
It's same concept. Except it's a raven, and it functions as a messenger.
Cool.
It's in the party sheet for you to drag and drop. And the party is debating after they destroyed the sword, took the shield, took the raven. They're having moral qualms about taking a necklace and a ring to sell.
I don't feel like I'm having any qualms.
Yeah, what's the qualms?
Leaving it or not, they're non-magical.
Siobhan will take him.
I think we should sell them for some money.
Dimble will conveniently turn around and not notice as Siobhan grabs him.
Okay.
It is amoral to steal things from a tomb that aren't magical.
Right? If it's magical, we're good. Non-magical, damn it.
But if we're taking things just to sell them, doesn't that make us no better than grave robbers?
Does it make you any different from grave robbers if you're taking things just to use them?
Let me have the moral high ground here, Tony.
I didn't say you didn't. I asked the same question you asked. I just altered it slightly.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Spectre did, air quotes, invite us in here. Whether his sword had a different idea of what that meant or not.
And Tony, can you send me the map? Yeah, I said take everything. It's always worth some money.
All right. Now that you have successfully robbed this tomb, I'm sorry, this grave, where do you guys want to go now?
I thought we had talked about going and seeing if we might be able to find those dwarven caravan that's running really late.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, too, you guys weren't here last week. Yeah, we had talked about, after the tomb, going to look for this dwarven caravan because they're like an 8-day late now, Tony?
They're getting pretty late. Oh, Matt, I should be fair. I know you're late. I want to be honest and full disclosure here. I did play the video when Tasha broke you, so everybody could hear it.
She didn't break me. It caught me up.
It sounded in my day.
It sounded like she broke you. I'm not saying she broke you. I'm saying it sounded like she broke you because we timed it. She stuttered you for 7 seconds. I've known you for over a decade. I've never seen you stuttered for more than 2 seconds.
No, I'll say that. She broke him. Yeah, absolutely. Mentally broke him.
Yeah, I'm still here sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth. Oh no, make it stop. I said, I'm just not used to a character in game making sexual advances to my character. Of course, Natasha is the first female that's ever played, so.
You used to going the other way?
Hell yeah, guy on guy, I'm totally down with. Why isn't Eddie in here?
Oh no. Wow.
So before we advance, just a mental thing. Can before you run away, Chad, remind me to give you a quick recap of my Out of the Abyss game and how once again Matt made gnomes look bad.
All right.
How did I make gnomes look bad? I did nothing wrong.
That sounds like a lie.
They were on the Raging Rapids, encounter, and one person reached the shore. They were all tied together, except the scout. Everybody was tied together. They were heading for the shore, and there was a little pull, and somebody might have cut a line to make it to the shore and abandoned the rest of them.
My rope snapped
Ropes do snap when you cut them with knives.
under the pressure of a knife, but it snapped, damn it.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
All right, so are you heading out of the tomb? You guys gonna take a long rest here? What's the plan?
Yeah. So where should we go to check on the dwarven, whatever it is, emissaries?
Tony, you want to bring up the other map?
I will, but let's see. Just give me a second. The general information that you guys have is, and actually, since I'm bringing this up, I haven't covered it in any of my games. It's actually something I've just discovered, and I'm embarrassed to admit this because I've had Fantasy Grounds for damn near a decade. If you bring up the little button on the right, and you don't have to do this, I'll share it either way, but a button on the right where it says Maps, it should come up with all the maps. But you have the ability to, at the top, you have the ability to section them off, and you can search, and you can also click at the bottom right where it says all. It won't have an effect for you now, but if you click it, you can, if you actually click the word all, it'll change it to shared. So you will eventually be able to filter the maps out by that. You don't have to worry about it at this point because I'm going to be sharing it, but I wanted you to be aware that that was an option. I didn't know you could do that. I was pretty excited about that as a DM.
Yeah, that's old news.
Yeah, much like you showing up on time.
Hey, I told you when we started this 5:30, I was like, hey, for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm not going to be able to make it at 5:30. It'll be closer to 6:30. And you're like, oh, that's fine. Oh. Douche.
So this is the Desserin Valley map, and the Mirabaran caravan, the way you guys have understood it, I think we were using these, came down the long road from here. And that's the best I can do to push and talk. They stopped in Westbridge. You have reports of them having stopped in Westbridge. Then they turned on the Stone Trail. They were reported having reached Belliard and turned south. They were reported having reached Belliard with the intention of turning south. But they should have reached Red Larch as they circle back around about 8 or 9 days ago. You guys have just heard that discussion. You guys haven't done anything specific. You guys haven't taken any looks around. The areas that you are looking at now, where you are presently, is the X a little to the north of Red Larch with the circle around it. That's where you are presently. The bandits were to the southeast, the bottom right, and Lance Rock was to the left there. So the Minnie Mandelver elderly woman in Red Larch was the one who requested you come up here. But otherwise, you guys are free to go in any which way you want. Now, you haven't done too much looking around or asking around inside of town, but that doesn't mean that inside of Red Larch, that doesn't mean there's information there. You've just heard tavern talk is all you've heard.
And we are to the north of Red Larch right now?
Yeah, just right there it says Larch Path, that X with a circle.
Gotcha. So is there a crossing of the Desserin River right near the Vale of Dancing Waters?
There may be. You guys don't know. You haven't heard about that. It's not a very commonly traveled path. The large path isn't. It's not traveled by caravans. It's a path. It's not completely worn away like a game trail, but it's definitely not a road, and it's not patrolled. No one really travels up there, and you guys don't know what the Vale of Dancing Waters is. You have a map. You guys have a map of the area that you did come with, and it's this map. So these things are marked on your map. Everything you see is marked on the map. But you don't know what that is. So you don't know if there's a crossing. The only crossings that are authentically marked is the Iron Ford, which is down south by Barge Ride Inn in the town of Wormford, and the Stone Bridge, which you guys have heard of. The Stone Bridge is supposed to be an architectural marvel built by dwarves long ago, by dwarves that no one even knows about anymore. So you don't know. You can risk it.
What do you guys think?
So, based on reports, in theory, they should be going down the Desserin Road.
That's the theory. What you guys heard from tavern rumors and talk from people who had talked to them who didn't make the turn and came on down the long road was that they intended to turn at Westbridge and then head south out of Belliard to drop off a body at Summit Hall. You don't know who it was, what it was about, but they were carrying a body home to Summit Hall, and they were going to be coming around eventually to Red Larch before heading down. There was a number of high-profile dignitaries that you've heard about, but you just don't know.
Might be able to go down the Cairn Road and then up the Desserin Road towards the Summit Hall, if they're still on the move.
Yeah, if we go south to Womford and then go north on the Destin Road, we should find some sign of them.
Because if we go north and then south at Belliard, we might run into the problem where if they are moving, then they've had a couple days to get away from us.
Right.
So, one thing of note, I don't know, I honestly have not looked at your sheets for food. But if you're traveling at a normal pace, not pushing it hard, but you can travel at a fast pace too. But at a normal pace, you're looking at about 24 miles a day. That's about 6 hexes. From where you're at now, you would, travel back through. That's something to look at. So, for example, if you were heading out of Red Larch, and it's a ballpark, you're looking at 1 hex, 2 hex, 3 hex. You're probably looking to get about right here. And you're about right there where I've marked that with the black in 1 day of travel. So bear in mind of your supplies or plan to need to buy supplies.
Augie, do you have survival?
Do what?
Do you have the skill survival?
Yes, I do have it.
What are you sitting at with the check on that?
+4.
I have a +4 too, by the way.
Same.
So this isn't something that has been mentioned yet, but it is of value to you guys. One of the things Red Larch is known for in this area is a type of trail ration, a type of food. It's famous, and it's made in Red Larch, actually. It's a hearty food that's baked loaves. It's got turkey and wild and chicken, because a lot of chicken nuts, chopped roots. But it's half the weight of your typical trail ration, and it's pretty good in price as far as most of your trail rations. So if you guys are going to be traveling, you do have the option, which is what Matt's alluding to, of doing survival checks to try to find food for you guys. But it's, for the weight, you're looking at a much better price on the trail ration. It's called Crumble Cake, and it's one of the things that's talked about with disdain in Waterdeep of how bad it tastes. But if you're going to be traveling a lot, that's something you should be aware of. That is one of Red Larch's signature things. Now, if you got rations now, not a big deal. Just something I wanted to make sure you were aware of, because you would know.
I mean, we got to go through Red Larch anyways to get to the Cairn Road.
I'm going to use the restroom while you guys talk.
Are we looking at for rations already that we have?
I have 10 days worth.
I got 2.
Let me check. Yeah, I got 10.
Plus, there's Barge Right Inn in Wamford, and then Summit Hall, I'm assuming.
Right, yep. Makes a lot of sense.
All right, where are we going? Heading out of the tomb back to where now?
I'd assume at the very least Red Larch, right?
So where are we sitting at in rations?
22 days worth.
22 between 3 of us.
Okay, and I have 10 days. Yeah, I mean, we'll just swing through Red Larch and hit up and grab some more of the crazy Crumble Cake rations.
Makes sense.
And move out. So I think if we get 10 days worth a piece, that would easily get us the long way to Belliard. Because he said it would take 1 day to get down to, or what, 3 days to get to Barge Right?
Day and a half.
Day and a half, okay. So yeah, we could easily get to Belliard on 10 days worth of rations.
Yeah.
And this would let us be able to take away...
It's about 3 days to Summit Hall. I counted probably poorly, but... Unless we wouldn't know that, then forget I said it.
No, there's distances marked. It has scale. Okay, so before we get too far into that, let's work on something else. As you guys head out of the tomb, I'll let you guys have your discussions before we do this, but as you head out of the tomb, you notice there are 2 figures. I'm going to share the map back. Looks like some of you closed it. We're going to fix that. There are 2 figures waiting, very clearly waiting at the entrance. I'm going to adjust some scale here. I need to talk to you later, Chad. I'm really struggling with this these campaign cartographer maps with the grid. They are not matching up, but we can talk about that later.
Okay.
But waiting outside is a very large looking creature. He's sitting down, and when he hears you guys coming out, he stands up and picks a goblin up and puts the goblin on his shoulders. And you guys, they hear you guys coming. They were waiting on you. And the half ogre is holding a large battle axe, a very large battle axe, and a javelin. And you can tell there's some, stuff around on the ground, some little bit of trash. They've been sitting there waiting for a while now.
Dimble will step forward and say, "Hello, can we help you?"
So the ogre, as I said, gets to his feet. He picks him up and puts the goblin on his shoulder and says, he looks at you, really small. He says, "You're small." He says, you went in the tomb. You've been in there a long time. You brought out stuff for us. You give us stuff you find, and we let you go.
Shaban fires her bow at him.
You want to make another roll there for the surprise attack?
Want to make it? That was for stealth, so yeah.
No, you would have advantage.
Oh,
If you're going to fire, make sure I thought that was your attack. So go ahead and roll advantage.
Okay.
And that's about a surprise round. And I'm going to need everybody to roll some initiative.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Well, this does not bode well for us.
Well, let's see what we can get out of Ragnar. By the way, I just got another message from JD. He says that he is not going to be able to make it. He asked me to convey his apologies.
Hey, talk.
You missed that. Say again. I only got half that.
Sorry, me or who?
You.
No, I pushed the button and I was talking with Connie. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay, well, this fight started without any fun conversation there because some people have short tempers. Might be that time of the month for some people. But nobody else knew she was going to attack, so she's going to be the only one who gets a surprise round. And as you're trying to have a conversation, Dimble, an arrow flies over your shoulder and hits the half-ogre right in the chest, who doesn't seem too happy about it and roars loudly and charges at you with his large axe.
Okay, with that happening, I will fire off a spell. He'll pull out his leafy one and said, "Fuzzlenut."
That's a hit.
And yeah, he'll stay there for. Actually, he'll back up a little bit.
Yeah.
He'll back up to there.
I fixed the grid, by the way.
Awesome. He says, "Go get him, Ragnar!"
So his movement's 45 feet. He's going to run forward and throw a dart, because that's all he has at that range. Ragnar has thus far rolled max damage on every roll.
Wow.
So the half ogre, as the goblin drops off his shoulders, moves forward. He seems to be a bit upset, as it will often be, and swings his very large battle axe at Jay Dizzle, at Ragnar, and connects. And he tears into Ragnar's leg and damn near takes it off. The goblin, on the other hand, seems to be hanging back, moving out of the way of some type of archer he saw, and takes a shot with his short bow. The arrow goes over the top of his head, but it looks like Ragnar is bleeding profusely when his leg's taking a pretty solid hit.
Siobhan goes running up there. She runs up there. She tosses the bow over her shoulder and. Give me 1 second. Here we go. And she launches 2 daggers at the half ogre.
That's how you do it right there.
Did the first one hit? I rolled them both before I could ask. I'm not gonna lucky it, I'm asking.
Oh, the first one hit, the second one's a crit.
Okay.
Awesome.
So that's for the crit. And then, hold on, I gotta go down to dagger offhand. And sneak attack. Not doing so well with the sneak attack. And she pulls out 2 more daggers. And that's her thing. Let's go, Augie.
Rage, Ogie, rage.
Hit him.
That's a hit. Matthias with his shiny new dragon shield.
Yep. But forgoing that, just going to throw some words of encouragement at Ragnar over there.
That definitely helped. Under the assumption that you're going to be using your magic shield on your inventory, you want to change the little icon under regular shield to carry and the +1.
I did that earlier, and I noticed that it was not providing proper AC.
Okay, I'm gonna change it on your sheet if you're okay with it, and see and fix it while we play.
Sure thing. That.
I see what you mean, and I see why. I'll get it fixed. Don't worry about it.
Kindly.
Okay, so I am going to. Dimble will charge up there and say, "Yield, or you will die." And I'm going to ready in action if the dwarf or the half ogre makes any more aggressive attacks, then I'm going to cast a spell at the goblin.
Okay. That's fixed for you, Matthias. Got the readied action. And Ragnar, he's never turned from a fight before, is going to keep on fighting.
That's a horrible idea.
And lodges his short sword into the half ogre's shoulder and throws an elbow, hits him in the throat, and the ogre starts choking as he falls to his knees and then falls on his face. And Ragnar can still move. Do you guys want him to do some specific move?
Close in.
I would have him cut off the escape route for the goblin.
How's that look? You want something about here?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I'd say just get in close enough that if he tries to run by.
How about right there? If he tries
Yep.
to leave, he gets an attack.
There you
Yeah, that makes
Is that
sense.
what you want? Okay. Okay, now, sadly, that's why I had you guys pick, because I don't want to be in control of that stuff. Goblins can disengage as a free action. As a bonus action, technically. And he does disengage. And he runs as fast as he can, attempting to get away.
Do I not get my attack?
You do. You will get your attack. He starts fleeing. I'm going to go ahead and jump. If you want to go ahead and take it, I'm going to jump back up to you, then I'll jump down.
Sure.
Spawn grabs her short bow and arrow and fires at the goblin as he
Hold
runs
on
away.
1 second. Let Dimble take his ready action.
Okay.
We're trying to kill Stu.
Okay, so he is going to use a different spell. He flings his wand around and says, "Rinky dink."
Rinky dink indeed. Sorry, I had it already queued up. Alright, Shaban, now your attack.
Shaban. Excuse me. She will fire her short bow.
That's a hit.
Nice.
And she will run after the goblin.
I suppose I could take the ogre sounds out of there since he got his throat crushed. Let's do with that.
Pretty much.
And Oglavone is going to go up to you now.
You got another javelin?
Let me look.
Oh, he's got a javelin.
Chuckle, chuckle, motherfucker.
Get it.
It's like that old
I
joke.
have 3 left.
The mouse with his dick. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Wow.
Oh, that's not going away.
So you have 3 left, and we're all going to have nightmares tonight. So Oglavone looks like he's running forward. So you want to right-click and, control left-click the goblin, Oglavone, which will tell you your distance to him. And And let's see. Let me look on the distance of a javelin. I don't honestly know. It's 30 feet, which puts you just in range. That's nice. So you throw the javelin, and you miss him and hit right here. Looks like you had a little bit of a shake in your arm.
How do I pick them up?
You can, after the battle, you just walk over and pick it up and then check it back off.
Okay.
And I'll skip down to Matthias.
You wanna heal up?
Okay.
The goblin looks like he's definitely limping with an arrow in his leg.
All right. Dimble will cast another spell.
Fuzzy nuts. See, fuzzy nuts works.
No. Fuzzlenut. Very different.
My bad.
See, that's how spells get messed up.
That hit?
That hits.
My mighty 2 damage.
Alrighty. Are you wanting to move?
Yeah, actually I will.
Well, let's see if it matters here before we do that. I hit the wrong button. Take that anyways. Go with. And Ragnar runs forward and cuts the goblin down from behind. Successfully killing both of them for Ragnar. 2 kills.
Hey, Tony, is there a way to do a roll to see if I can scrounge up any of my arrows?
You can. Here's how it works. You're trying to recover arrows. Javelins, unless there's extenuating circumstances like you threw it off a cliff, you always can pick those up. So for Oglavone, as long as you're around, you can pick your javelins back up. I mean, they're made to be sturdy unless it was specifically destroyed. So after battle, you can just check those off as back with you. For arrows and bolts, my rule of thumb is 50%. I don't care whether you roll a D4, D6, percentile. You have 50% chance per arrow.
51 to 100. Same thing, top. There you go. So I placed them both up.
You got both your arrows up.
Whoop, whoop.
And that
And my
is the
daggers.
end of that. And
I assume my daggers are going to be good since they actually hit.
they are good.
Okay.
Again, I mean, they're pretty sturdy. Even if you hit a shield, it's going to just reflect off. So, that was surprisingly easier than I expected. I thought that would be a little bit more challenging for you guys. I enjoyed that. Nothing like a surprise attack while no one's looking.
Shaban doesn't share her toys. Or loot.
Didn't even try and negotiate. If you give us some of the stuff, bam, arrow in the chest.
I'm not giving up my loot.
Here, we found some arrows. Take this.
Alright.
So-
I'll share this with you. Ka-tunk.
You guys are heading back to town, correct?
Is there anything on the bodies worth it, Ann?
Battle axe and scimitar and shortbow. I'm just going to. I think I'm going to try out the 5th edition stuff. I'm trying some variants here. Unless someone wants the equipment, I'm going to give you the value.
Okay, that'll work.
Everyone okay with that?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I went in and threw the value on there, and you guys head back to town. And you guys rested. You're getting back to town, I'd say about 6 in the afternoon. It's pretty close to about 2 hours before sundown. You guys are heading back into town. There's not a massive amount that you have to do. The town's still moving about. People are making their way down the roads, and it's the same bustling town. You're starting to get to know people around town. You see, Kylesa working on her, working outside the inn. You see the same bakery there. Let's see, the bakery on the right there, right as you pass the bath shop of Helena's. The same very strong smell of baked goods and melted cheese is wafting out. But from up ahead, if I can manage to spell something correctly, up ahead you hear a sound, and I'm not sure how many of you have your sound effects up or down, but up ahead you hear a rumble followed by a smash. Then, shortly thereafter, you hear a number of people screaming. That's the best one it's got. I'm a little disappointed. There's more. I'll find some more. But that's called the Wilhelm scream, right? I thought the Wilhelm scream would be a little better. It is what it is. You just got Sirenscape, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big fan of it. I just haven't had a massive amount of time to set up pre-sounds. But I'll talk. But anyways, up ahead you hear a crash and a scream.
Shaban would start jogging towards the sound.
Bias would follow after.
Timbo will hop, skip, and jump behind them.
Ogie's following along.
On this ordinary afternoon in Red Larch, as you get closer, you feel, all of you, a tremor under your feet. As you're looking on, right here, as you follow the sound, right here, off to the side, and I will zoom in, not that it particularly matters, right at the intersection where the road joins, you see a small hole, but as you're running up, the tremor, you can feel that it's an earthquake. It's a minor earthquake, but it's under your feet. A second later, as you see a crowd of people, some adults running towards, some running away, you see 4 small children and an old cart that the children are trying to peek over. And the cart was just moving. Slide into a sinkhole as it widens as the tremor. They disappear from sight with a distraught woman shrieking as she runs out of a nearby house and sprints to the edge of the hole as it crumbles away, dropping her in as well after the children. More people start running from the town. There's people that are screaming, "Get a rope! Get a rope!" Others are calling, "Ladders! We need a ladder!"
How deep is it as we run up to it?
Do you run up to it?
I'm running up to it.
Yep, Badger will run up to it.
Okay. The hole, from what you can tell, is about 30 feet deep. It's a dark chamber, roughly 30 feet below you. It looks larger than the hole. The chamber itself looks substantially larger than the hole, and the sides extend into darkness. There are heaps of loose earth piled around the middle, around the children. The children who fell first are sitting on the mound of earth, coughing in the dust, sobbing with fright. My boy, the worried parent runs up behind you, starts peering over the edge. Someone do something. More townsfolk are hurrying up, but they look to be staying clear after watching the mother go in. There appear to be a few of the elders in the town start to try and pull people away and order others to get back. One of the elders says, "Leave it to us. We will tend to the matter. The children will not be harmed by being down there a little while, and no one must go down there. You need to keep back, everyone."
Well, that certainly sounds like a challenge.
I have a rope, and Shaban basically is gonna do what she's gonna do. And Shaban,
I'm going to send
what's
you a
up?
map. Just
Okay.
give me 1 second. I was goofy and opened up the wrong map. So you're about to get a different map. But you can go ahead and with your description, though.
Shaban will set down her pack and say, I will go in and see if there's anything we can do. You know, we're trusty adventurers, haha. And she pulls out her rope, tosses one end to Augie, and ties the other end around her waist. And grabs Dimble. You're coming with me.
Wait a second. Wait. Okay.
You ran up. You said you ran up. So she
All right,
tosses
yeah,
one
yeah,
into Augie, ties the rope. What do you need, a dex check for the rope?
Well, if Dimble's going to resist you, he gets to resist you, whether you keep talking or not.
Can we roll initiative to see who went first?
You can.
All right, let's do that.
Well, Dimble slides out the way. What are you going to do, Dimble? You going to run away?
No.
You going to run away? You going to help?
I'm gonna cast Silent Image over the top of the children. A little tiny fortress surrounding them. And then I'll go over the edge with Shaban.
So the elder starts to step forward like they're going to tell you to stop, and gets one good solid look at Oglavone, and kind of scoots back and says, "This isn't your business. We'll take care of it."
There are children involved. It is my business. So, do you need a dex check for the rope?
No,
What?
you can tie him. You can take a second to tie him.
So, ties it, has Dimble climb up on her back, and goes to the edge, and I assume Augie's gonna lower me down?
Yes, I'm luring you down slowly.
Drop him.
Augie likes Siobhan.
Yes, Ogie does.
He is. That's a little creepy, but alright.
Tony,
Yes, sir.
can I have, if and when appropriate, have Greenwing go down into the hole and fly a circuit to see what else is down there?
Absolutely. And you guys are about to get a unmasked map. Out of morbid curiosity there, Chad, as I'm drawing this, when you unmask maps in your game, do you actually follow the cave line, or do you just throw a massive square on?
I follow the cave line. Usually I try to figure out what the distance is for their site, whether it's 60 or 30 or whatever.
Good. Just glad I'm not the only one. But
No, it's cool.
so you get Greenwing, and who's down here now? You got Dimble, you got Shaban. So this is to scale. So you can see. I'm going to put a token down for some of the children, but I'm going to just put a T for townsfolk. I'm not going to put multiple. But this whole area is lit now that you're down here. You're about 30 feet down, and you notice there's a door, obviously, off to the right, and there is a passage that is the same terrain and ground kind that you have under your feet leading to the north.
Shaban would yell up to the party, tie the end of the rope off and come down. There's a hallway and a door down here, and it seems very interesting.
Ogie ties the rope off and starts to climb down.
Matthias follows after.
Be careful, Oglavone. Ropes can snap very easily.
It's okay, Siobhan likes me.
There you go. Shaban's not that shady.
Okay, So let's just do it this way. We'll go ahead and drag all of these over here. So that puts everybody on the map, and you're all successfully down there.
So there's 3 kids and their mother down here?
4 kids and one of the mothers, and a cart as well.
Okay. Well, I will untie the rope from my waist and tie up the mother. And how big are the kids? Are they like 4-year-olds or are they 10?
Varying ages. She can carry 1 or 2.
Okay. Well, I'd tell her to grab the 2 youngest. And once she has that, I would yell out, "Pull up the mother with 2 children."
Okay. The townsfolk are rallying around and starting to pull her up. And they get her up. And then when they do, they throw the rope back down. And from above, you can hear the town elder says, "Okay, let's get the kids out, and then we can get them out."
While they're doing that, can I have Greenwing stealthily go to the north?
Absolutely. We'll just presume that you follow the same process to get the rest of them out of here. During such time, the passage from the north is muddy. It has some indication of tracks, but it is... One second, let me scroll up just a little bit. So this path continues for a good distance, to be honest, a couple 100 feet, and it's at a slow incline. It's not anything that looks like it would be concerning.
Shaban, after they get him unloaded up the top, Shaban asks Ragnar or Matthias to get the other child tied up on the rope, and she will go over and examine this door while that's going on, because the door really piqued her interest.
So from above, you see a male human lean over as they pull up the last kids, and he throws down a rope. He says, "Okay, grab the rope. You can come out of there. This is town business."
Shaban's not directly under there, so she's still going to inspect that door real quick.
Okay, inspect away.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Okay.
You can give them both if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'll keep that. Let me reroll. Okay, I'm gonna use them. Okay, well then. I'm going to push it open. That investigation does work for traps as well, right?
Perception and investigations both do, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the rest of you are free to move around, and I'm going to stop you right here. So Greenwing, a couple 100 feet up, and it just continues on a small incline. It's muddy, and I'm assuming you want him to stop at a certain point, or do you want him to go all the way to the end of it? Which doesn't take a massive amount of time. It's a pretty big tunnel.
So he has 60-foot flight. So I want him to go up 60 feet and back 60 feet. His dark vision is 120 feet. So
he's not going to be able to see that full length because of the twisting tunnel. But
okay.
You said 60 feet you want him to fly up?
Yeah, sure.
And from here, he can see further up to a curve of the tunnel that curves back to the north.
Cool.
Shaban raises her voice slightly and says, there's this hallway looks interesting. There's been recent activity here. And then she yells up louder to the people above. There's something here. Something is down this. There's something strange here. Let us look it over real quick, and we will be back shortly.
The older gentleman hanging over the hole yells back, "The stones must not be moved. The delvers must not be angered. Come out of the hole, I order you. This is not your business." He continues yelling unhappiness and things of that nature. We'll take him off there.
And who are you?
The townsfolk start, and you can hear from above people yelling at the townsfolk to disperse, and that guy kind of disappears and starts yelling at the townsfolk to disperse, and they start calling for someone to get the sheriff.
Yes, get the sheriff.
I've never met the elders, so I don't know if this guy is an elder or not. So, if the sheriff tells us to get out, I will respect those wishes. What
60?
say you?
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm asking the rest of the party. What do you guys say? Should we respect their wishes, Matthias?
No.
Wow, Matthias got real big.
Well, might want to hear them out, at the very least.
Okay. So, Dimble, if you would not mind having your... You want to have Greenwing explore down there real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have Greenwing fly down 60 feet. So in one round, fly down and then fly back, and have 120 feet vision straight.
Alrighty. I threw a vote up to make your guys' life easier. If you don't mind giving me a perception check specifically for Mr. Greenwing. Or Mrs. Greenwing, no judgment.
Yeah.
Are those stairs?
I'll cover it. One
Okay.
second. So, 60 feet beyond the stone door, the tunnel levels out from a small incline. There are two stone reliefs of stern dwarves in chainmail and carrying battle axes face each other across the tunnel. Those two stone things are doors. They have dwarves carved in them. And the carvings stand out from the passage walls, and they have gaps around them, so they could presumably have been left open. The passage continues past them in multiple directions. So, Greenwing's unable to describe to you everything, per se, but especially with that perception check. The best you can get from this is that this hallway straight ahead has some cuts in it, in the ceiling. That's the best he can give you.
Okay. Yeah, I assume you relay that, Dimble?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, Augie, can you use... Can Augie use survival, Tony, to figure out what kind of tracks those are, or would that be an investigation, or what?
It'd be a survival.
Okay.
They appear to be booted humanoid footprints.
So people in the town, probably the elders.
They seem
No,
shady. They seem shady.
Yeah.
I think that we should move up to the first intersection.
Agreed.
Sure.
Then we can have Green Wing fly up each of these 3 directions.
Okay. Hold on. Never. Did we learn nothing from the last time?
What?
Perceptions. Especially if you're gonna be walking through there. If there's a trap or something. Yeah, that's why you let the sneakies go first. Ragnar, after you.
I like the imagery of that. Gimbal walks all the way there and then just all the way back. Well, there's no traps there, probably.
Who would do such a thing?
Every place we've been to.
So Ragnar checks out the area and says it doesn't appear to be trapped.
Okay. So I guess we can all come in. And I will be back here, but I'm looking at the cuts in the ceiling with, I guess, that perception.
Okay. So for the cuts in the ceiling consists of square stone panels about 10 feet on each side. Rusty iron frames, as you look up, appear to be in the cuts. So they're stone panels set apart, and in the spaces around the panels, there are rusted iron frames. The panels appear to be suspended about several inches from one another, and a wall to either side, and they appear to form a row that continues down this passage. At the end of the passage is another stone door with an iron pull ring in it. It stands slightly ajar with darkness beyond. About 5 feet up, the door has a 2-inch wide, 1 foot long horizontal slit.
You guys think like a key or something? Some sort?
Maybe.
I could cast Detect Magic as a ritual if it makes sense.
How long is that gonna... That's gonna take like 10 minutes, man.
Yep.
I don't think we have that kind of time. Can you just have Green Wing explore down the tunnels real quick?
Okay. All right. I'll have him fly 60 feet forward and 120 vision.
Reroll. Yep, not gonna take that.
Yeah.
So which tunnel is he going down?
Straight.
Okay, he flies down and back, and the only thing you can get is it looks like it's some type of viewing port in the door.
You mean the door all the way straight down?
Correct.
Okay, he'll. I want to have Green Wing do the same thing to the ways north and south.
Okay. And I will unmask that while you guys can discuss as you like, if anything.
Maybe we should go north or south first, huh?
Well, I'm investigating real quick, so give me a minute to see what I get through. Because that's a viewing slit, but the door's open. It does not bode well.
So, 1 second. I'm trying to get this all unmasked.
Siobhan looks back at the group and says, they seem, from what I've noticed, they look like they're cages buried in the ceiling, but I don't see a way to either let them down, but I mean, this may be another trap to collect us up or whatever, but
Can we throw a weight onto the spaces in front of you?
Sure, are you volunteering?
I don't think if Dimble even jumped on it, he would weigh enough.
Well, I don't have enough, but... So, down south, Tony, can you describe, or would you describe that, Dimble?
That's... Greenwing's going to give you some view, but I don't believe Greenwing's going to be able to give you a detailed description of every room he sees. He can give you the viewing. You're going to have to go in it to get descriptions and things like that, other than general descriptions. And the description he gave you from there is just an empty corridor.
Okay.
Dimple, you might be the size of a child. I think you could probably do it.
You mean
Yeah,
going forward?
I mean, just stepping on the cage to see if it will scoop you up. I mean, I'll save you.
You're learning how to play this game.
Thank you.
Quick learner. So, Siobhan's gonna go south real quick.
Okay.
Let's see what happens there first.
Okay.
She's looking around, trying to be stealthy, looks around the corner and all that.
So, I might have missed your stealth check. I haven't seen it yet, so give me another one if you rolled it way up high.
No, I got stealth and then perception.
I see it. I have my mouse over it. Thank you. So as you come down this tunnel, to the south, the tunnel ends in a pit covered in a stone bench with a hole in the middle.
Okay, so this area at the very end is a pit with a bench and a hole in the middle of the cover.
A hole in the middle of the bench. It's a single 5-foot-ish wide. It's just the end here, so the end's gonna have a pit right here, and then a bench over the pit, and the bench is carved out of the stone, so it's
Privy
permanent, and it has a hole in it.
Yeah, okay, privy pit. Comes back up here and lets everybody know that it's privy.
Potty break.
Did you smell to see if it was fresh?
I'm letting you do that, Dimble.
Swirly.
It's called the Blarney Stone, Dimble. Hold on. There we go. Lucky. It's the Blarney Stone, Dimble.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
kiss it, it'll give you luck.
Yeah, rolling twice. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I got lucky, so I can roll twice. And I am using my lucky. I called that. So
No
yes.
one believes that.
What? People believe the Blarney Stone, and that's exactly what it was.
Got a point. I want to see an insight roll from Dimple.
Yep.
I think that's mainly for NPCs, right?
Nope, that's for you too. I can't force you to do it, but whether you believe it or not is with an insight check, right, Tony?
If he wants to roll it, and he wants to waste a lucky to make Dimple believe that he should kiss a turd.
Wow, that's amazing.
Go down there and kiss it. It'll give you luck.
No, thank you.
Okay. Let's roll. Do you guys want to go north or east?
North seems safer. So let's go east.
Okay, Ragnar.
Wait, no.
No, you're not sending down someone's character who's not here in an uncertain
come on.
situation.
Okay, hold on. We have that battle axe.
It
so
sounds like Matthias disagreed.
What do you want to do, Matthias?
Safer looking path.
Do what?
Travel the safer looking path, perhaps?
To the
What
north.
do you guys want to do?
You guys have the option to throw up votes if you want.
Sure, let's do that.
Which way would Ragnar go? Probably go safe.
Ragnar doesn't get a vote. You guys have to break the stalemate on your own.
Okay. Well, then if it's gonna be a stalemate, then we'll go the safe path, pussies. Shaban says okay, and Ragnar, you want to lead the way?
Sorry about that. I had to step away for a second. You're sending Ragnar up.
To the north, yep.
We'll start him out to about right there. Get some stealth checks from him.
I ain't seen shit.
And I'm assuming you guys are following behind.
Yeah,
Sure.
because we know it goes pretty far, so yeah.
Out of curiosity, are we able to hear any sounds of townsfolk potentially behind us?
You can hear sounds now at this point, faint sounds of townsfolk back at the top of the tunnel, but it doesn't sound like anyone came down with you.
Alrighty.
So Ragnar gets about to this point and says, I'm going to read the description to you, but he would be able to convey this. The tunnel opens into a square room, and you can all smell the smell of decaying flesh. There are 3 human corpses that have been reduced to little more than bloody bone and sinew that are sprawled in the center of the room. 2 fat, oversized rats root around in the bodies, stopping to chew the flesh that they've pulled free, and scuttling noises come from a narrow crevices around the walls. They do not appear to have noticed you yet.
Shaban would pull out her daggers. Anybody got a torch?
I think I have one, hang on.
Well, I got a lantern if we need it, but
Yeah, I got some torches.
You guys
I'll
want
toss
to?
one up.
Yeah, I have 10.
Okay.
So you're throwing a torch up there?
wants to do.
Okay, so you throw the torch up, and it clatters. And in response to that, you see two pairs of beady eyes snap towards the tunnel, and they hiss and charge the tunnel opening. Give me a initiative roll for everybody, and they'll have to make a roll against Ragnar. Alright, Dimple, the rats are scurrying towards the tunnel. You don't quite see them yet. Did we lose you, Dimple? Or did I hit the wrong button?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Were you gonna lock the tokens
I'm
so I
glad
can
you
move?
said that. There you go, I'm sorry. I was swallowing a taco.
You're supposed to lick those things.
You know what? Always gets the job done.
Okay, can I see him from there?
You can. That's a hit.
Damn.
Ruined his day. So the giant rat seems completely unaware of the existence of Ragnar and runs and sees Oglavone and runs straight at you, attempting to bite you with its teeth. Let's see if we got a nice rat picture here for everybody. I'm sure we do somewhere. I feel like giant rat is a creature that should always have a good picture. So it leaps up higher than it should be able to and sinks its teeth just above your knee. No picture, though, by the way.
Well, they can jump like 6 to 8 feet, so.
Lucky didn't bite you in your dangly bits.
You'd hate that, wouldn't you?
It's a fabulous rat.
He jumps out of the way of your hammer and manages to dodge as you take a chunk out of the wall.
That'll be well within my movement. No put me there, Tony, so. And Shaban will attack with advantage with her daggers.
There's actually a sound profile called Giant Rat Battle. Who's not happy about that? That's a hit.
Right? I assume that was a hit too.
It is. You kill that rat very effectively.
And Shaban turns around to make sure the other rat doesn't sneak up on her. And that will be her turn.
So you want Ragnar using ranged or running in there to punch the rat in his stupid face?
I just have him hold back until the rat closes.
Okay. He
Because
holds
if he
his
goes all the way
initiative.
up, yeah. Wouldn't you guys say that's a good bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
The
him come
aforementioned rat does come to you, and since it cannot see Ragnar, it attacks Shaban. And misses. Ragnar punches out at
Flank him. Shaban yells that.
he swings his short sword
Advantage.
and then attempts to kick the ugly little thing. And stabs it in the back and then stomps on its head.
Does it seem like anything else is coming out?
You hear some scurrying, and it doesn't seem like they're pouring out of the walls. They seem to be running deeper.
Okay. So let's grab your torch and snuff it out and continue on.
I'm gonna approve that, then I'll unlock the tokens.
There you go.
Alright.
Tony, I'm gonna investigate the bodies. You said they're not like yesterday fresh, but they're still really ooey and gooey, right? Like how old?
The bodies are not old. I mean, maybe a day or two. Some of them up to a week, but definitely not extremely old.
Are they human or dwarven or?
All three of them are human. And one of the things that you do notice is that they're still wearing most of their what looks like traveling gear. They don't appear to be in any way stripped or robbed, but one of the things that draws your attention pretty severely is they have a symbol carved into their head.
Is it the same symbol we've seen before?
It is not. It's cut deeply enough that the carving goes all the way down to the bone, and further, the carving is deep enough that it actually carved into the bone.
What is the symbol?
I'm sending it to you here in a second. I gotta get it uncovered. That symbol is carved into their forehead so deep that it goes into the skull.
Okay, and with that investigation, I am going to search for any personal items, anything identifiable on them.
There's no valuable equipment, but they look like general travelers.
Okay, if we're not encumbered on the way back, do you want to drag them back to the main area?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Siobhan looks at Augie. What about you, big man, since you'll probably be doing most of the lifting?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Ragnar, you want to lead the way?
Sure. I'm just scooting him
Beaver.
up for 1 second.
And yeah, stealth and perception, please.
Takes me a second to get his sheet pulled up. I don't keep it up. I have a number of things on the screen, sadly. So Ragnar moves up, and I'm going to give you the descriptions here. So, up ahead, this tunnel opens into another square room. In the center of it is a very strange sight. You see a black rock about a foot across. I mean, it's not large, it's only about a foot wide. But it's hovering 3 feet off the ground.
With my perception, is there anything like carved onto this rock or anything that stands out besides it hovering?
No, it just appears to be a rock.
You guys want to leave it alone for now?
Yep.
Okay. We'll continue on then.
Alrighty, so at this point, I intended for it to be after the rat battle, but you guys wanted to get a little farther ahead. And it was actually going to be when you guys reached town, but we got pretty quickly into this. So, I'm going to stop everyone right here. And I'm going to have you all level up to level 3 after you return to town. And the rat battle wasn't of large concern to me, so I went ahead and let you guys kick some rats around. I mean, who doesn't like to kick rats?
Yay.
So, everybody's going to level up to level 3, and I think we can pick up next week as you guys move forward. Give everybody a chance to get their characters leveled up, and so forth. And give JD a chance to get back so I don't control the rogue. Any objections there?
Nope.
No.
Works for me.
Question for you though, Tony.
Hold on, Chad, is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Shoot.
Shit, I blanked. Are we gonna do the long game next?
I don't know. That's the main reason I was stopping here. I was going to discuss it with everybody and have everybody level up. And I wanted to take the last 15, 20 minutes to recap here and go over a couple things. The next week, and I think I talked to Mal about it a little bit, Chad. Me and Natasha both are on vacation. She works Friday, I'm off Saturday and Sunday, which I normally work. So, do you ever do those, Chad, in your games? Do you ever do long games?
No, I mean, usually they're the standard length.
But
tell me about it.
Sorry about that. I was pushing the wrong button. I was talking very, very eloquently, I'll point out. Basically, they're pretty rare. I'm able to pull one off maybe a year. Maybe like our long game that we had for my Out of the Abyss campaign, we had one so far in 18 months. But it's basically, me and Natasha got a pretty thick schedule. I got my kids. We both work. I work weekends. She doesn't. But it's whatever people are comfortable with. If nobody wants to do it, or one person doesn't want to do it, it has to be unanimous. I'm not going to hold anybody out. But it's basically, we can decide how long we want to run it, what day works for us, and we can just pick a start time and we run a normal game. We just run it longer. It started when I was running Curse of Strahd in person with my D&D table, and they were really enjoying the story. Natasha, JD were part of that, and they wanted to see if they could just get a good solid chunk of the story instead of in the segment. And I think everybody had nothing going on that Saturday, so we played a really long time. But I'm completely understanding if people can't. I know, Chad's got kids, Matt's got kids. I get it if you can't. I just wanted the offer to be there if anybody wanted to pick a day and do a long game for, however long you guys want to do it.
What days are you talking about?
We don't have plans, but we're gonna do something, but whatever works for you guys. If I threw a post on the forums, so if you guys, obviously, if you want to think about it, you can post on the forums and discuss it there.
15th through the 19th.
Yeah, so basically today's the 5th, and not this weekend, so the 12th we can hold a normal game, or we can do the game the 12th, the 13th, the 14th. I'm off from, I don't work the 13th which I normally do, so we're going to be off that whole week. So if we want to do it on a weekend, it'd have to be the 13th or the 14th. But if a weekday works better, I can swing that too. Whatever works for everybody. And if we don't want to do it, somebody doesn't want to take that time away, no hard feelings.
Or we could just do an extra short game or whatever.
We could do it on a normal Friday. I know Matt works, so I didn't think that would work. But just something, that's just something I wanted to throw out for everybody as an option if they wanted to consider it.
Yeah, for me, I could play later, but I can't go any earlier.
If you wanted to play on a Saturday, I just don't know what everybody has going on. I wanted to make sure that people knew the option was there.
Yeah, I'm good with the Saturday. You know me, I'm pretty much down for anything as long as I let the wife know beforehand.
Yeah, the 13th and 14th are bad for me. But I could do 15th, 16th, or 17th. Actually, 15th or 17th. But I can post that in the forum if you want.
Okay. And I don't know what everybody's work schedule's like, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I just wanted to make sure that I usually can only make it happen, so I wanted to make sure to make the offer. I don't know what everybody's work schedule's like. Might not line up. It doesn't always line up. 6 people trying to get all their stuff lined up is pretty rare. But does everybody have the option to access the forums? Was everybody comfortable having that conversation between now and next week on the forums?
Yeah.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so we can do that, and in the short term, I'm gonna have everybody level up.
Done.
So Mal, and I think probably JD will need help with it, but Oglavon, All right. I'm pretty sure Dimble's got it, but how to level up. You're going to open your character sheet. Then you're going to go down to the bottom right where it says library and open the PHB Deluxe. And once you get that, you want to open classes. And you grab whichever class you're taking, probably sticking with your main. You're going to drag that onto your character sheet where it says class and level. It should already say Cleric 2 or Barbarian 2, and you drop it on top of Barbarian 2 or Cleric 2, and it should automatically add it to 3. And then if it has any questions for you, it will ask you a question. And if you need help with that or what it means, I will happily help you. I know Barbarian has a primal path. That's going to be something you're going to want to look into, and I can happily help you with, or Matt can help you with.
Yeah, before you choose your primal path, because when you drag it over, it'll ask you, make sure you open the Sword Coast Adventures Guide, because it gives you other paths as well. And that goes for everybody.
Okay.
If you don't want to do it tonight, you can absolutely wait. Anybody can. I can have the server up, and you guys can do it between games. That's completely acceptable. I can help if somebody needs me to get on. But that's all I have for tonight. I don't want to get too much further and get bogged down in something that's going to take us super late, and we can finish this up with the next session, and we can have the conversation on the forums. Does that sound good for everybody?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Sure.
Okay, and I'll be on, but if you finish that up and you want to head to bed or head to your family, and thanks for coming, guys.
Cool.
For having us.
Deuces.
Bye.
Hey, Tony,
Yes.
are you on... What are you on? Something I can send you a link to.
I think I'm still in Discord somehow.
Okay.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick.
Okay. Tasha, are you still on?
Yes.
Control C. I have a link to a web page. I think I showed Tony when you said you were going to be a barbarian. I don't remember for sure though. But I got a link to a web page. I'm going to shoot you on probably this.
Okay.
Okay. Control V. Client needed private text message power. Apparently I can't send you a message. Anybody know how I can get private text message power?
Only Eddie can give it to you. Just send it to me in Discord. I'll show her.
Okay, I just gotta open up Discord. I mean, you don't have to use what they says. It's this guy's version of what he thinks the best abilities and the worst abilities are. I mean, you'll have to read through them, but there are some really good ones.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
What's awesome?
Okay, Tony said he's gonna show me that link later, and I'll look at it.
Okay. like I said, it just gives you a general idea of what's out there. And with the Sword Coast, you know, Sword Coast Adventure Guide is pretty. They got some pretty good ones on there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, 'cause I think at level 3, one of them is anybody who is in melee range. If you're in melee range with them, they get advantage on attack rolls even if they're not flanking type deal. So I mean, just something to look at.
Okay.
Okay. Well, in that case, you have a good night. I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right, thanks, you too.
User
Yeah.
disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
I'm back if anybody needs me. Or doesn't need me, you know.
User disconnected from your channel.